Okay, good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining to today's webinar. Um, okay, before we start, let me explain you that the webinar is going to be recorded so we can share with all the attendees and also the people that register and that was not able to attend. So we can send the link of the video and also a copy of the presentation. As we mentioned, today we're going to be talking about the different solutions of artificial intelligence that we have for the gambling and casinos. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alvaro Mocholi. I'm responsible for international sales, also the managing director of Grecom Technologies. And then let's start all over, okay? Okay, hold on. Okay, first of all, I would like to do a very brief introduction of our company. Grecom Technologies, as a matter of fact, we are two companies. One of them is Engaro, which was founded in 2005, which is responsible for developing most of the solutions that we have in our portfolio. And then we have Grecom Technologies, which is a company was founded in 2017 and is responsible for marketing all Engaro solutions and also is responsible for the integration and of all the different solutions with existing security platforms and cameras and so on. Grecom Technologies is a company that it is specialized in developing real-time analytics. We are very specialized on thermal imaging, although we also have solutions for optical spectrum cameras. As a matter of fact, today, most of the solutions that we're going to be introducing are solutions for the optical spectrum cameras. We have over 30 different analytics developed up to date. We export to 64 countries worldwide. And the added value, or one of the key advantages that our company has versus some other companies that are on the market, is that we can offer the full chain of value. That means that we have our own R&D department, which is responsible for developing our own solutions. Also, we have an integration department, which is responsible for integrating all our solutions with existing VMS platforms, security platforms, digital input and output models, new cameras that come on the market, and so on. Also, we have the pre-sales and after-sales department. The pre-sales is responsible for setting up, downloading, configuring, and fine-tuning all our solutions. This is also one of the key differences between our company and some companies that are on the market, is that we do all the setup job for our system integrators or for our clients. That means that until the solution is not running as the customer expected, we will not stop working on it. Okay. And also what we do is we have our maintenance department, which is responsible for solving any potential problems that might show up with the analytics, like communication problems, camera failure, and then we need to reinstall, or server failure, then we need to reinstall our analytics all over again. Okay, let's go to the next. These are the different lines of analytics that so far we have in our portfolio. As I said before, we have over 30 different analytics developed up to date. We start with perimeter surveillance. We have solutions for the long range. I think which will be one of the longest detection range in the market. And then also we have solutions with artificial intelligence, which of course the detection range is not as long as the previous one, but I mean it is more accurate in a way that can auto-classify humans, vehicles, and then it is very accurate from the false alarm point of view. Also, we have plenty of solutions on the automation and safety, especially for sectors like the oil and gas, energy, nuclear plants, and minery, and so on. We have solutions also for the marine surveillance, especially for ports, offshore platforms, fish farms, and also like everything that has to be related to marine scenarios. On traffic, we are very specialized on tunnels, especially on road tunnels and also railway tunnels. And here, basically, our main objective is to detect accidents, stop vehicles driving on the wrong direction, pedestrians accessing the tunnels, and then also in case that there is any kind of incident, we can interact with all the like emergency doors, alarms, sprinklers, ventilators, and so on. Also, we have solutions for the fire prevention and detection, for wild forest, and also for industrial scenarios. On healthcare, we have solutions for detecting people with high temperature. On cybersecurity, we have solutions for data loss prevention. This is one very unique solution that we're going to be talking today. Face recognition, we also have solutions. I would say that the solutions that we have is among the top 10 solutions worldwide, and I will explain you also later. And then also we have forensic VMS with forensic functionalities. Okay, so let's start with solutions for the gambling and casinos. Okay, the first thing that the first solution that we're going to be working that we would like to introduce you is the face recognition. As you know, especially in the gambling here in Europe, there is a lot of problems when there is people under the authorized age gambling, and then also since there is a lot of gambling online, that is very difficult sometimes to control and to prevent from these people that is this child that is not authorized to gamble to detect it. Okay, so what we do is we propose our face recognition solution. Okay, in order to be able to detect or to catch that people upfront. Okay. This is a solution that what we can do is we can guarantee a 99.87% on wild faces accuracy. And then with face mask detection, we can guarantee a 98.6% of accuracy. Okay, this is something that has been certified by the NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology. This is an institute in the US that has has certified not just our solution but also the 340 algorithms. I think Fraser has a question.
Sorry, just a quick one. 99.87 on LFW. Every single face rec company gets that because it's the worst data set ever to be testing on. In fact, you can't get any higher than 99.87. And if you don't get 99.87, you're really bad. I just want to point that out. LFW is not one to be looking at. Sorry.
Okay. What I will do is I will show you later on the results of all the testing that we did, and then you can see that is over the average. Over the average, no, in the top 10. And then from the privacy, we follow all the rules, the AAS 256 and then also as the speed. I mean, we are one of the top solutions on how fast to detect the faces, so which is less than 100 milliseconds. As for the deployment, it can be flexible. It can work. I mean, you can deploy the system on smartphones or tablets, on premise, on cloud, or it can be in a hybrid solution. And then from the processing requirements is one of the lowest in the market. We can save, I mean, versus the most direct competitors, about 20% on the requirements on the processing capacity. Okay. So here, Fraser, this is the results of the testing. I mean, there were 340 algorithms tested. And then, as you can see here, the most accurate wild face algorithms include models with a false non-match rate, okay, of 0.285 and lower, okay? So this represents the leaders in the field, okay? So as you can see here on the top right corner, this is where our solution is. So that means that is one of the fastest, is the fastest, as a matter of fact, on detecting. Okay, and then also from the processing requirements, it is also one of the lowest. Okay, go ahead, Fraser.
Sorry, I was just going to say I might disagree with a few things. I apologize. I'm intrigued. Is this the data set that you use themselves, or is this one that's just been put in for NIST testing? LFW, by the way, and NIST are two separate things, which is why I was intrigued. And I don't want to interrupt too much because I know that other people want to listen and hear, and I really want to hear the rest of it. So maybe we'll take that one offline a little later if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. And then going back to what solutions can we offer for the gambling and casinos? From the monitoring point of view, we can have like the mass detection, social distancing. This is very important now with all the COVID-19 situation. So whenever we can see that there is gathering, too many people gathering together, so we can detect it, and then also we can recommend to spread out. Then also what we can do is we can have like a manage audience management, congestion prediction, suspect detection. This is very important, especially, I mean, as you know, in casinos and in gambling, sometimes there is some troublemaking people. So what we can do is, I mean, we can generate kind of like a database of, let's call it, of blacklist or not accepted people. So whenever they approach the gate or the entrance of the casino or the entrance of the gambling store, immediately we can detect it, so we can like block the access, or we can follow up in case that it generates any trouble. Okay, then also what we can do is we can do counting people. So this is also very important in a way that we can imagine that the maximum audience that we can have in the especially on the gambling offices is like let's put it at 20, 40 people. So whenever we reach the maximum, we can block the entrance so there is no more people coming in. Okay. There is also the activity monitoring. That means that we can have like heat maps, so how people are moving inside the premises, and then where they are gathering. We also can have like direction analysis, so we can figure out, I mean, the people is coming in, is coming out, and also we can figure out the dwell time. That means how much time the people spend inside the office. And then for the employees, we can also have the multi-identification or multi-identification factor. That means that we can do is we can compare the badge identity with the face recognition, and in case that the identity of the badge doesn't match with the face, we will not grant the access to that person. From the facial recognition, we can work it on the access control, VIP recognition. Then also what we can do is we can have the VIP. This is for loyalty programs. Imagine that we have some key customers that you want to consolidate and that you want to incentivize. I mean, so you can kind of like generate kind of like a VIP list. So immediately, whenever they access to the area, you can spot them, and then you can give them like a special treatment. And then from the employees' point of view, from the suppliers' point of view, also we can have like the subscription and activation of new customers. So imagine that there is someone that is some of the suppliers or some of the technical team comes to repair any of the equipment that is inside the casino. So what we can do is once they get in, we register that person. So the next time that comes, doesn't need to register. So I think this. Hold on, let me just silence here someone. Then also, as we say before, we can have like a recognition of suspects, and then liveness and anti-spoofing. So this is also very important, so no one can fool or try to supplant the identity of an employee of a customer. And then from the analytics point of view, what we can do is we can do demographic analysis, so we can figure out, or we can come out with the gender and age demographics. We can, as I say before, We can have a heat maps, queuing time, dwell time, an occupation panel. This is a dashboard, and that in just one screen you can analyze how many people is inside, and then also you can have all the demographics, statistics showing in just one screen. And here I'm going to show you a video of how the anti-spoofing works. So as you can see, when it's detecting a non-real face, automatically comes like a red heart. So that means that the system is identifying that it is a picture. It is not a real face, it's a picture. Or even the system can detect even on images on smart videos or on smartphones, or videos on smartphones can also detect it. And here is what I explained to you, the double identification, so you can match the identity of the badge with the face. Okay, the next solution that we're going to be showing to you is the VMS platform. Okay. What is the key difference of this solution? I mean, this VMS versus some other VMSs that are on the market also includes artificial intelligence. So that means that whenever we are recording all the video streams, we are also tagging, or we are classifying all the objects in a way that whenever we want to do a search, automatically it will be much faster and efficient, the searching tool. Okay, so that means that whenever we are recording, we classify the type of object, if it's a human, if it's a vehicle, if it's a, let's call it an animal. Also, we can classify by colors, the color of the clothing that the person is wearing. On the database, I mean, it depends. I mean, depending on what you can do, is you can have the database. It depends on the number of people you want to do. So you can buy like, you can generate your own database, which is in most of the cases, this is how the way it works. But also, in case that you want to use it for a public place or something.
Sorry. Apologies, I was meaning how many people were in the database on the video that you've just done with the liveness test. Was there one person in the database, 100 people in the database, 2,000 people in the database? That was the question I was asking, but I'm okay with these questions at the end. I'll happily put them in here and we can chat about them after. I didn't really want to know while talking. Sorry about that.
That's right. And then coming back to the VMS, as I explained to you earlier on, we have the, as I said, we have the smart search tool, in a way that whenever you're recording, you classify all the objects in a way that whenever you do the smart search, is much efficient and much faster to detect it. Okay, this solution has been certified by the ISO 27001. Okay, and also was the Red Dot winner 2021 as the smart product. Okay, so let me here, as I explained to you, so whenever we're recording, we classify all the objects. So you even can classify, if you can record the face, so you can do the search by face recognition also. So what you can do is also, there is like different tags, like the color of the clothing, the type of clothing, if it's human, if it's vehicle. So whenever you do the search, it's much faster. Okay. One of the key advantages also is that whenever you have this system, I mean, also is tracking the people inside the premises. So from the building management is also one of the solutions that we can offer. That means that we can count people, so we can know the level of occupancy inside the building. And then also, in case that there is no people, there is no people in one area, we can turn off the lights, turn off the heat or the air conditioning. For example, for the cleaning purposes, whenever there is the system detects that no one has entered or no one is inside the restroom, so you can send the cleaning people to do the cleaning of the restrooms. This is also one of the key advantages. Also, what you can do is you can have tracking of the people inside the premises always, as long as that person has always been on the field of view of the camera. When I say tracking, is once that person has access into the building, so we can know where that person has been moving around, and we can see the line how he has been moving around. Okay. Also, this solution can be connected to the cloud, or it can be connected to the server. In either way, it's always connected to the cloud, so you always have the latest update on the license or on the software, and also you are protected against cybersecurity problems or hacks, let's call it. This is how the structure will be. You have you can either go with our cameras, or you can either go with third-party cameras. In most of the projects related to gambling and casinos, they will already have their existing cameras, so that is also available to work with. In case that we go with our cameras, the key advantage that our cameras offer versus third-party cameras is the analytics are embedded into the camera, and also the recording is embedded into the camera. So that means that the cameras, I mean, what you can do is you can record 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days. Okay, so when you use our cameras, you can connect them directly to the cloud, so you will not need a server. And then also, since all the recording is being done into the camera, you are not sending using the whole bandwidth in order to send all the video streaming to the cloud. So whenever you want to access to the recordings, the only thing that you need to do is to access through any like a laptop or computer or smart device like a smartphone or tablet. Always, as long as you have access to the internet and access to the cloud, you will be able to access on real time to the cameras, and then also you will be able to access to the recordings. In case that you use a third-party camera, then you will need a server, which is what we call it the connector. And then inside that connector, we will download the analytics, and also we will download the recording. Okay, and that connector will be connected to the cloud, so you will be able to access through any smartphone or tablet or laptop or computer, always as long as you have access to the internet. Also, the solution can be integrated with third-party or existing security systems. So we have our own API, and also we have our own SDK that could help us to integrate it with existing security platforms. Here I'm going to show you a video of how the smartphone, the smart search works.
Welcome to AvoWare. Today we're going to cover search. Search is a tool that allows us to search for specific events that may have occurred across one or multiple cameras. This allows us to search for things like the appearance of a person or a vehicle, a line cross event where a vehicle or person has crossed a specific virtual line that we've drawn, loitering events where a person or a vehicle may have been stationary for too long in one place, indicating something like an idling vehicle that may be outside of a loading dock or outside of an airport, or a person that may just be acting suspiciously in an area that they should not be. We can also alert on sound detection, and this leverages the onboard sound detection in our AvoWare cameras that can detect things like glass breaks, loud noises, smoke alarms, and many more audio models that are being added with each release. So for example, if we were to create a line cross search, what we can do is we can choose what kind of objects we want to search for. We can stick with any or go down to a specific person. This person can be specified based on gender or based on the attire that they're wearing in the top or the lower quadrant of their body, and you can combine both colors as well, looking for people in uniforms or based on a description that was given by a third party. We can also leverage an image. If someone has captured a cell phone image of this person or vehicle, we can upload that in order to do a search based on these detections. Then we can choose where we want to do this detection. So this detection can take place, for example, on a camera in a parking lot. It could also happen inside of a building. So if we were looking for people that may have been in front of a register, we can choose one or multiple cameras and then choose the line that we want these objects to be crossing in order to qualify for the detection. We can choose the direction of travel of this object. And in the case of something like a convenience store, if we're just looking for anyone that is walking out, as this person just did in this example, we can unclick the entering direction so that we're only looking for the direction of travel out the door. And then we can choose the time period that we're searching for. This can be anywhere from specific minutes down to a block of time that may be days or hours. And in our case, when we're just looking for the last 30 minutes worth of search, we're presented with all of the events that correspond to our search criteria. So in our case, we're looking for people that are exiting. And if I highlight over that video, we're going to see the people that are exiting. I can click into this video to see it in greater detail. This will allow me to see not only the event that occurred, but the object within our floor plan as that user exits this building. I can then click to act on that activity. But we can also see in our parking lot as a person was crossing that virtual line that we created. So this allows us to very quickly get to the events that matter to us and then act on them. These different video clips that we have captured here can then be exported. So we can take the relevant information by clicking the plus, and we can choose to share or save. So we can export this as an MP4. We can share this as a publicly accessible link. We can bookmark it so that these video clips do not get deleted by typical retention. And of course, we can also do similarity searches if we want to look for people that are similar to the objects that have been detected in these environments. Now, you're also presented with the ability to create a rule. We have a whole nother section dedicated to creating rules based off of searches as well as other parameters. I implore you to check that out.
Okay, now we're gonna go to another solution that is very critical for casinos and gambling, which is the data loss prevention. This is a solution that what we offer that has been it was the winner of the U.S. Cyber Command contest. Okay, this is a contest that was that the FBI in the U.S. There were like there were 10 functionalities, and then our solution, which is called Reveal, was the solution that won in 7 of the 7 of the categories, and also in the one of the most complex, or even of the overall performance. Okay, also has been certified by the JITC, which is the Defense Information System Agency's regulation. Also is compliant with the NITTF. And then he was the winner of the Cybersecurity Awards on 2021. Okay, so let me explain you a little bit how this solution works. Basically, what this solution does is monitoring all the activity on all the equipment, on all the computers or laptops that are connected to the company's network. So basically, the main objective here is to avoid that critical data is not sent or is not exported outside the company. So what we're doing is we're monitoring the activity on all those computers that the software has been downloaded to, activities such as, for example, as you can see here, actions, like, for example, access to applications, access to browsers, connections to different devices or different internet or Wi-Fi devices, DNS lookups. You can have like when you have, like, for example, screenshots, or you can print whenever you print some documents, whenever you access to limited or not authorized documents, or whenever you like enter like a pen drive into the computer and try to save data, or whenever you, for example, you send in a file in a non-protected protocol. So basically, this solution, what it does is monitoring all the equipment, and then whenever it detects, automatically you can have like different actions. You can either like send like alarm to the device saying, look, you know, you're not following the IT policy of the company, or you can log that operation, or you can isolate the computer, or you can like send an alarm to the management, to the manager that is supervising all the equipment. Also, the good thing about this is that each one of the computers that has this software downloaded into automatically reports to one central computer where all the data is being collected in a way that just the manager under one interface can supervise the whole company and see what computers are following the IT policies and which ones are breaching the policies. So this is very simple. I mean, is you just download the license into to the laptops or the computers that you want to monitor, and then those report to one central laptop or to one central server where all the data is being collected and is being revised. Okay. The good thing about this is that this also gets updated constantly, so you always have the latest version of the solution that is available and that is included on the price. Okay. The way this solution works is on their subscription model, so that means that you pay kind of like a fee per each one of the laptops that you want to use. Okay, and then what you can do is you can have different subscription models, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever is more convenient. And then also what we do is we have a solution for perimeter. This is the perimeter lockout artificial intelligence for, it can work for thermal, it can work also for optical spectrum cameras. The good thing about it is that auto-classify persons and vehicles, so you can discriminate animals, vegetation movement, light changes, in case there is shadows or light changes. For example, if you're in a parking lot and there is at night, so the vehicles doesn't generate alarms with the blinking of the lights. And then also raindrops on the lens can also generate false alarms, but we can discriminate it. Has multiple detection rules, so you have intrusion, line crossing, prowling, and abandoned object. Is compatible with all the IP cameras and is integrated right now with Milestone and also with Genetec. Okay, so this will be the solution. So here I'm gonna just show you a small video. Okay, so you can see here, for example, the lady is with the dog. The dog is not being detected, but the lady is being detected. So this is, I mean, it is key, especially when you're in after hours, when the casinos or is closed, so there is people on the parking lot, and so you can monitor it. And here are some of the key success cases that we have around the globe. As we say before, the data lost and the VMS was implemented with the FBI in the US. On the NATO headquarters in Brussels, we have the access control. On the Rota military base, which is this is a military base, it's a shared military base between the US and Spain in the south of Spain. We do all the perimeter of the port and the airport, and also all the base. All the Navy bases of Spain, we also protected. On the oil and gas, we work companies such as Saudi Aramco, and then Repsol, which is a Spanish, the top Spanish oil company, Cepsa. We also do all the perimeter of all their facilities. Endesa is one of the biggest energy suppliers or energy supply companies here in Spain, so we also work with them. As for critical infrastructures, we do the airport of Madrid, we do the perimeter surveillance for them. Port of Valencia, we do marine surveillance. This is Trillo nuclear plant in Spain. We also do the perimeter for them. This is Al Wahba Palace, is in Qatar. This is the palace of the Emir of Qatar. We do all the perimeter for them. As for the telecommunications, we work with companies such as AT&T in the US, Etisalat, Telefonica here in Spain, Facebook in the US, Hitachi Vantara also in the US. And then on the banking, we work with Banco Santander, which is the 5th largest bank in the world. CaixaBank is also a Spanish bank. We have done some projects in the South America with BBVA, and then also with Santander, and then also with USB. And this will be pretty much all the key success cases that we can share with you. Here you have my contact details, my mobile telephone number, and then my email address in case that you want to use any demos or you want to have a demos of any of the solutions. Please feel free to ask for it. Okay, so let's go to the questions. Fraser was asking me on the liveness and anti-spoofing, how large is the database? Okay, the video that I showed to you, this is a demo video. So to be honest, I cannot tell you how many people is on database, but I mean, the database, I mean, you can do it of thousands or hundreds or 100,000. It depends on the processing requirements that or capacity that you have on the server. Okay.
Yeah, it was more. The question was more about if we're only looking for one person in one, then I'm always going to get it anyway, and the liveness won't be as accurate. Whereas if I'm looking for one person in 2,000 or 10,000, then on a liveness video or any face recognition testing, there will be a difference in that reporting. But it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So I mean, this is a demo video. I mean,
Sure.
to be honest, I don't know, but I mean, as far as I know, we have implemented these solutions with manufacturing large companies where there's thousands people coming in on a daily basis, and they have this solution. I mean, the key difference with this solution is in order to detect the anti-spoofing, you need to have like a two-dimension camera. Okay, you cannot use like a regular video camera. You need to have a two-dimension camera. Okay, but I mean, it's always going to depend on how much space, on how large is your database. I mean, the larger the database, the larger the processing requirements that you're going to need in order to be able to run very fast that database. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then what VMS platforms are you reading into? That means what platforms are we integrated with? Is that correct? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, we are integrated with all the main VMSs: Milestone, Genetec, Goitebrook, Pelco, Avigilon, Cas6, EDIS. Then also we are with Chameleon, Latitude, Axis Camera Station. So this is, I mean, one of the key success areas, or one of the key advantages is that we always try to integrate our solutions with all the main VMSs or VMS platforms in the market. in a way that can help us to also to promote and to sell our products.
Yep, no, that's perfect. Is it more of an overlay in, or are you using the SDK and APIs that are available from each, or are you just putting them in through via an overlay and using a product? I know, I'm sorry, these are probably questions I should probably ask another time. I'll bucket load for you.
Perfect. I mean, I'd rather have questions than no questions. It depends. I mean, as you know, there's some VMS platforms that are very, let's call it, they're not very open, okay?
Yeah,
and
correct.
then sometimes that they don't allow us to send us the overlay. So what we did is we developed what we call it the RTSP server.
Okay.
And then what we did is we get directly the video stream directly from the camera. We run the analytics, we paint the overlay, and then we send the video stream directly with the overlay painted into the VMS. Okay, so there is some solutions. For example, with Milestone, we can send all the metadata and the overlay, and it can be recorded with the metadata. But there is some other solutions, like for example, Genetec. Which is a little bit more difficult. And in that case, what we do is we put between the camera and the VMS, we put the RTSP server. So we paint it and then we send it to the VMS.
No, that's perfect. That's fine. That I understand totally. And is the metadata being created by GPU, or some of it coming from your own cameras? Are you taking anything from cameras, or just doing deep learning on the NVIDIA GPUs?
This can be done either way. I mean, there is, we are, for example, most of our solutions are embedded into Axis, are embedded also into Hanwha, and then Mobotics also are embedded into, and then, for example, with some other manufacturers like, I don't know, like Dahua and Hikvision, some of the solutions are embedded, some of the solutions are not embedded. But I mean, whenever it's embedded, we do all the processing inside the camera, then we just send directly to the VMS. And then depending on the solution, some of them we use GPU and some of them we use CPU. So for example, face recognition is mandatory to use CPU, and all the artificial intelligence solutions is required a CPU. But with, for example, on the thermal imaging, which is not as sophisticated, let's call it, we don't use CPU, we use GPU.
So I would have said that face recognition has to use GPU. Personally, I'm sorry. I'm just going the wrong way. But yeah, face recognition has to use GPU. Face detector will use it. If it's running on CPU, you are not going to get as many models through.
Yeah. Okay, we have here more questions. Just facial recognition. Okay, yes, I think Carl, here I'm going to show you the, this is the testing, Carl. Okay, so this solution has been certified by the NIST. Okay. Then can you integrate with Johnson Controls Tyco? Yes, we can integrate with Johnson Controls Tyco. As you know, this solution is an OEM solution from some other manufacturers. So, and this is the main manufacturer is integrated with us. So there is it is integrated. More questions?
I've always got questions. I'm sorry, Alvaro. It's background. This is unfortunately. Do you have a workflow process? So, for instance, if there is an incident, is there a workflow process in there where I can sit and go, you know what, there's been a fight here, for instance, in the casino, there's been a fight. I need to click on here, which will then save the information on that fight, save the video. I need to send this information to, and there's a workflow to follow through exactly what you're meant to be doing as a guard.
Okay, basically what you do is whenever you detect an incident, okay, the first thing that you need to do is to do the search. Okay, so when you do the search, you can do it on either way. You can do it by face recognition, or you can do it by appearance. When I say by appearance, is the type of if it's a human or if it's a vehicle in case that is an accident. Also, you can do the search by license plate recognition, and then also by the color of the clothing. Okay, and then once you retrieve the video where the incident happened, and then what you do is with the VMS, you have different options. You can either share that video with the authorities or with whoever needs to be supervising the information. Or what you can do is you can tag that video clip in a way that it doesn't get erased from anyone. So that is also one of the options that you have with the VMS. So what you can do is you can tag it, and then automatically it will not be deleted, and it will be unless you want to delete it.
No, that's okay. That's fine. It's a slightly different process, I'm thinking, but don't worry too much. The metadata is only post searching, or is any of this live, other than face rec, which obviously I'm guessing would be live as well? But is any of the other information live? You know, I want to see a red cars coming through right now. Can that will be done live as well, or is it only post?
Yes, what you can do is you can set up the different rules, okay, and then whenever that happens, automatically it will pop up. So this is more of a proactive solution. As you know, most of the VMSs are reactive. I mean, you record the data and then you have to go over the recordings. Yeah. Here, what you do is you also have the option that, for example, if you put a line crossing, or you can put like a face recognition, or you can put a license plate recognition. And then whenever the system detects that face, that license plate, or someone crosses that line, automatically will pop up on the screen of the person that is supervising the system, so it can interact on real time.
So we're correct. So if I'm correct, you're collecting or creating the metadata instantly, not like I'll give an example, brief cam, for instance, where you have to say, I want to search for a car, a red car going this way. It will then go and make the metadata, which means you spend hours waiting for that information to come back. So you're creating the metadata already and leaving that available for the VMSs and obviously your post search.
You have two options. You have two options. You can either do in real time, or you can do it as on over the recording. For instance, imagine that there was an incident happening in the parking lot, but you didn't have any of the rules set up for the parking lot. Okay, so what you can do is, okay, let's put some like line crossing, or put the license plate recognition, and then you can run that artificial intelligence, or you can run that search over their recording data, or you can do it on real time. You can do it either way.
And your licensing is per stream, per camera, and is it linked to that camera? So if I have to say, I've got this one camera here, it's got your license on, but I actually don't want to use that camera, or I want to use this one over here. Is that possible, or how is your licensing working?
The license goes per stream, so that, I mean, and then in case you want to change the camera, then you can change it. So the only thing is, for example, imagine that you hire 100 channels or 100 streams, you just can't connect 100 cameras.
No, that's fine. Just a big GPU. That's fine. That's good. NVIDIA must love you.
Okay. And then as for the model of business, I mean, all the hardware that you just buy it, and then as for the analytics, is a kind of like a subscription model. Okay, and then the price of the subscription also includes regular updates, and then also cybersecurity protection.
Okay. I apologize to the other people. I'm asking questions because I'm very interested in what's obviously being done here, and my background is in facial recognition and deep learning. Okay, so that's why I'm asking these particular questions. All right.
I can see.
Yeah. I've left a few last nasty questions off the list for you. Okay, so don't worry. But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. From my point of view, I must go my evening time, but thank you very much. And please, Alvaro, please reach out to me. You have my details. I would like to discuss more. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Fraser. Thank you for your questions. Someone else has more questions here? Okay, so just one final issue is, I mean, here you have my contact details, and then also remember that the price of the license includes the setup, configuration, and fine tuning. So that means that this is a turnkey solution. So in case that you buy from us, I mean, in case that you are a system integrator, I mean, you will not have to worry. We will do all the job for you, unless there is a critical infrastructure. In that case, we will need to train your staff and so on. Okay, is this VMS GDPR compliant with the personal information? Yes, it does. I mean, all the information is it gets encrypted. So unless you are authorized, you don't have credentials, you cannot access to it. And then also, whenever you share the videos, it gets encrypted. And unless the person that is on the other end doesn't have the credentials to access to it, I mean, you will not be able to do it. There is more questions here around. Okay, well, in that case, well, thank you very much for attending to today's webinar. In case that you need to get in touch with me, here you have my contact details, my telephone, my email address, and then also in case that you want to request a demo of any of the solutions that we just introduced to you today, here you have the email address in a way that that you can access to the demos. Okay, once again, thank you very much for attending. Let's keep in touch. Bye-bye. Thank you.